What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I have for you guys the final Open Championships video. I'm putting my arsenal together. We're going to make some tough decisions today to decide what 6 bowling balls are going. Truth be told, I already have I've got 3 spots already locked up, but I'm going to throw them for you anyways, just so you guys can kind of see how they all mishmash work together. It's actually been about like 3 weeks since I filmed the last one with the transition balls. I had the time. I just put it off. Currently, at this moment when I'm filming, I go to Open Championships in like a week and a half, so kind of had to get on it. So here we are. But in those 3 weeks, I've had time to change my mind. Anybody that knows me, most of you guys probably don't, but I'm very indecisive. If I sit at a restaurant and the waiter takes too long to come back, I have about 11 different things on my mind that I want to order, and I won't decide what I want to get until that waiter comes back. And sometimes I pick the right thing, sometimes I pick the wrong thing. Same thing with these bowling balls. So some bowling balls have actually made it back into the fray for the final video, specifically in the transition part, and some I've decided to remove out that I said would come into the video. Namely, I'll start with the ones that I've solidified here. I'm going with the IQ78U just because, like I said, I've had a while to think about it. And actually bowling the summer series, I've actually gotten to really like test these in game time mode and kind of see how the balls work off each other. IQ78U just gives me the best opportunity to play straight if I have to, and it kind of goes hand in hand, goes very well with my big solid ASIM of choice, Ion Max. You guys already knew that this one was going. So those are my 2 kind of fresh options. This one is slow enough to where I feel comfortable if I have to go to it a little bit earlier than I normally do as far as reactors are concerned, going after urethane. I'm very comfortable with this one. It does need new grips though. These are like 7-month-old grips, and it's kind of disgusting, but we'll get to that. And the other one, you guys haven't seen it yet unless you've watched the summer series. If you haven't watched the summer series, what's wrong with you? You guys should. At the bottom of the bag, we're going with Ultimate Wrecker. I said I was gonna test Typhoon against it. After throwing Ultimate Wrecker, it reads the body of the lane significantly better than Typhoon, and it bridges the gap a lot better between this ball and the ones in the middle. I lied, I actually solidified 4 spots. Hold on, I forgot Rockstar. How could I forget the Rockstar? If you guys have been watching the summer series, Rockstar has been a Rockstar. This has been my go-to ball. This is a ball I expect to throw for most of the Open Championships and most of the rest of this ball's life. That Ultimate Wrecker really bridges the gap nicely to this ball and hopefully the other 2 balls that we are going to be deciding between today. But again, I'm gonna throw them all because I hate myself, but I love you guys. I want you guys to see all the balls in action, but I'm just gonna show you around to who we got. All right, so obviously that's not mine, but there's the Rockstar, Ultimate Wrecker there, Ion Max, good friends of the channel, 78U, same one there. As you can see, I said that one wasn't gonna make it to this video. And after having thrown it a little bit more, I got to put it back into consideration. It's all about how much different I can get off of this ball. It's kind of like my X Factor ball. This is what I'm looking for. No pun intended with the Origin EX. Also with the XL. A lot of X's going on here, but those are kind of in the conversation for X Factor, those 2. And the Sublime Focus is back, and it's a lot shinier than when you guys last saw it. Decided to do a little Tour Sauce wet 4K spin there. It's giving me a nice look, and honestly it's rising up the leaderboard. Another one I said wasn't going to make it to this video, but it did. So that's going to be like the bulk of our testing there, is between those 3 balls. And then Identity, you guys know if you watched the last one, is in the conversation along with the Attention Star S2 with some Power Edge on it. But those, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I gotta pick 2 of those 5 balls, and then that is our 6-ball arsenal. We're gonna round it out. Hopefully they work, and hopefully I can pick up my spares. Otherwise it's gonna be a miserable 9 games. But here we go, let's start testing. X. Here we go. I'm gonna throw the urethane ball for you just so you guys can see it. I did lay out the 2021 USBC Open Championships pattern, because someone in the comments of one of the videos was like, hey, why don't you test on the actual Open Championships pattern. 1, I believe the Raising Cane's Convention Center is not going to be anything like HP Lane, so it's kind of irrelevant, but just to appease some people in the comments, we got an Open Championships pattern out there. Here we go. Like I said, 78U gives me nice straight ability. Not one you hear on this channel very often. It's often hook ability, but we're here for straight ability with this ball. But they aren't particularly easy right now, so don't expect me to strike a lot. Or I'm just a god. Just kidding, haven't missed yet. I'm so good. As you see there, holds line a lot better than the fast pitch does. The fast pitch kind of tempts me to throw it longer than it wants to be thrown because it does hook so much. And the lanes don't develop very well when you start crossing through left of second arrow out to right of first arrow for the 9 other guys that I'm bowling with. So IQ 78U, as you can see there, that ball is the most surprising thing I've thrown. Not gonna lie, full transparency. IQ 78U, full transparency, I thought that ball sucked when it first came out. I didn't throw one until earlier this year, so I waited like a year and a half to drill one. I like it. It rolls pretty well for me. Someone who's a little bit more heavy-handed. Like I said, it allows me to get a little bit straighter, which is probably what I need a little bit more in my life, honestly. So IQ 78, there we are. Now we're gonna move on to what we're probably gonna transition to after that. The reactive ball that blends the lane the best, just with the layout, 4 1/4, 5 3/4, 2 1/2 buffer, ion max. It's pretty dull. Just a control-y reactive ball. That's what I like. Blending a lot of friction. This pattern's like 40 feet, I don't know. Not something I typically throw reactive on too early, but this ball gives me the confidence to do so. And as I say that, I'm probably gonna get a whole lot of 6 on these next couple shots I throw with it. Am I ready for Open Championships? I promise you I did not strike this much when I was warming up. I promise you. You can see there, it's super blendy. That's something that visually I like to see earlier in a block because then I can get a little more aggressive with my hand. I like that. I like slow until it's too slow. Then I don't like slow. Yep, there we go. There's the one. Boop. There we go, ion max. Visually what I like to see, I really like that ball for that specific purpose. It's not gonna be very hookable, which is why we have 4 other balls in the bag. So the Rockstar, why not? So the likely transition after the ion max, old baby Rockstar. This is the pin down one. As you guys know, if you guys have been watching, 4 by 5 1/2, I think, by 3 7/8. When the ion max starts hooking a little early, starts burning up, this is the one that we go to. Probably gonna have to move a little bit left. Did not miss that one at the bottom. Was like 4 further left there than the ion max. It's a nice kind of left, right, 1-2 punch combo there with the ion max. With the pin down, it gives a little more stability through the front part of the lane, which again allows me to be a little bit more aggressive with my hand. But with it being a 4-inch pin, still flares, still slows down as it's getting to that spot, gives me that big, don't like to use the word, but big benchmark type feel. And again, as you guys know, in the summer series, I've been throwing that ball quite a bit. So very happy with that one. Now we make some tough decisions here. It's all about what kind of shape is gonna complement that Rockstar. Obviously, I think the number one thing we're looking for is a little bit more length, something a little bit cleaner. So with the XL and the Origin EX, they have a weaker solid cover. So that's naturally gonna make them cleaner, but they're asym, so they're gonna wanna lock up and go a little bit more forward down the lane, which depending where we are in the lane, when I gotta get to those balls, could be good, could be not good. Sublime Focus, on the other hand, stronger cover like the Rockstar, but I brought the actual surface up, so it's gonna be quite a bit cleaner through the front half of the lane. And honestly, with the shorter buffer, it's got like an 1.5 inch buffer on it, it's also gonna wanna kinda go forward, but it's symmetric, so kind of in a different way from the Origin and the XL. But I'm gonna throw the Sublime first, I think. Sublime Focus, 5 and a 5 1/4, 5 1/2. 5¼ inch pin with an 1.5" buffer, I think. Watch the last video to firm up that information. But this is one that I didn't think was gonna make this video. And then I just came up with the idea like, hey, let's wet spin it. So here we are. I threw it a couple times. I actually really like what it's doing. Hopefully I can make it do what it was doing. I'm gonna stand in the same spot as the Rockstar. It should hopefully get down the lane a little bit further. That's gonna go in the gutter. Yeah, bad shots get bad results. I actually should just move a little bit right with this ball because it's gonna be cleaner. So, what's nice is when you like wet spin the big, strong covers, they're clean, but they're still stable down lane. Let's try it again. All right, so just a skosh back to the right. It should hold line a little bit better. Oh, Lord. Somewhere in between those two shots. But even there, how far left I got that, it didn't have that quick jerk to the left motion, which it gives me a little bit of comfort. Honestly, this last part of this video is probably not gonna look that good because the lanes aren't ready for these balls yet. But we will prevail. All right, let's dial one up here. So a good one. That's not a good one. But it's not very good. But just I don't know if you guys can see it. I can kind of feel it. Just a different shape from the Rockstar, even though it's in the same spot. I'm also gonna have more surface on the Rockstar when I actually bowl because there's probably gonna be a lot less friction at the Raising Cane center. So keep that in mind. The Sublime will stay like that. The Rockstar will be duller. So I'm gonna throw one more with the Sublime. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. It's definitely cleaner than the Rockstar with the longer pin, with the less surface. Shorter buffer is going to make it a touch faster. So I think when they transition away from that, that ball is definitely an option. It's not my #1 choice to pull out when I am bowling, but it's nice to have. But we're going to throw the other ones and see what we can get. This one here, this is the Pro Pin 4-inch pin up. It's like 4 by 5 by 2 and a something, 2.5. This one flares a lot. Kind of scares me a little bit, but we'll see. I'll just throw it in the same spot and see what happens. It's not as visually appealing as it was on titanium when I first tested it. Not gonna lie to you guys. It almost felt like that was the same spot as the Rockstar, and it was almost sharper off the spot, probably because of that asymmetric weight block and with a weaker cover. So the big flare is helping it slow down, kind of like the Rockstar does, but that transition's quicker. Not sure that's what I'm looking for out of the ball in this spot, the X Factor spot. I'm looking for stability, honestly. That's my #1 thing, looking for stability. And when a ball flares this much, that's not stability. That's actually quite literally the opposite. That is instability. Moved a little left. That one actually looked a lot better. But I feel like with the ball flaring that much, it's gonna look good as I'm making small moves to the left. And then I'll get to a spot where it just burns up and is not enough. I think it just flares a little too much for what I think I want to use it as. Like I said, stability. A ball that flares a lot is not a stable ball. So as excited as I was about it the last time, I'm equally as not excited for it this time. So I don't think that one's gonna make it to the Raising Cane center, but we're gonna throw the Origin, one I've become fond of, one that is very stable. So I don't expect it to hook back quite like the XL did. See, that was left and it kind of held line there because it is so slow and it's more stable. It's got a longer pin on it, longer mass bias as well, with a longer buffer. So all that kind of adds into it being a weaker layout, more stable. That was nice. Now I really got to figure out Sublime or Origin. I like the fact that the Sublime has the shinier surface on it. I could obviously do that with the Origin, but the asymmetric kind of scares me a little bit. You see, that is the same spot where I was throwing the Rockstar and the XL, honestly, and it'll just get going forward like that because it is a big asymmetric weight block. Like, I like the way it rolls. I really like the way it rolls, but I just don't know, like, in my brain where I would throw that in the progression, especially if it is a slicker kind of lane surface, because it is a built convention center, pro anvils instead of HPLs out there. So I just don't know about that one. I think it probably sounds like it to you guys. I'm probably going Sublime Focus just to get that, the fact that it's symmetric, and then I got a up, cleaner surface prep. Gives me a nice 1-2 punch with the Rockstar. I think that gives me the most confidence when I'm switching balls. That's the most important thing when you're deciding on what balls to bring, is to be very confident in them. So I think we're gonna go Sublime Focus. I'll probably throw it a couple more times here just to give you guys another good look at it. I'm just a lot more comfortable with this one as I'm moving a little bit further left than I am with the asymmetric balls. Simply put. So I'm actually gonna move a little bit left and throw it slower and see what we get out of it. As you guys know, G-Man's right here. He's been bowling right here. His hands are on his head because that was almost the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm actually very happy with that. Moved a little left, got really aggressive with my hand, brought the speed down, and it's still a very round, controllable shape. So I think I can, when I move off of that Rockstar, if I decide to go to this ball, I can kind of stay in the same spot, and I just get a little more push through the front part of the lane. That's gonna be very nice. I know I got that control on the back end of that ball. So very happy with that almost 4-pin into the 10-pin messenger. But here we go, the cleaner asymmetrics we got here, Identity and the Attention Star S2. Don't know which way I want to go with this one, honestly. So I feel like typically when you get into these kind of balls, it's like striking time, right? These have a little bit more of an aggressive motion. The lanes have stretched out, broken down, they've grooved in really nice for you. You're looking for a little bit more push to the front and pop down lane. So I don't know if I'm still looking for a little bit more of a control look, which would be the S2, or the Identity, which just, this ball kind of just turns and burns. But I don't know if these lanes are ready for these balls yet, so hopefully I don't look like too much of a fool throwing them. But here we go, I'll stay in the same spot as that last Sublime Focus shot. As you see there, balls that you can really open the lane up with. And that's a ball I feel very comfortable throwing to the right, and it hooks down lane as long as the ball is slowing down enough in the front. Needs a little bit of friction in the front, as do most shiny balls. So this one honestly might be a coin flip. I don't know, I'll throw it a couple more times, we'll figure it out. It's so good. Oh boy. Didn't get that last one the best off my hand, but you can see it it gets, the ball goes that way, and then it goes that way. If I'm looking for the very aggressive prime Jason Belmonte shot, which honestly last year I did kind of get into with an Attention Star in team event, it's got some play. But we're gonna throw the S2 just to see the shape difference again. This one's just a bit of a slower transition. I'm gonna stay in the same spot. Probably not throw the same shot because I suck. Told you I wasn't gonna do the same shot. Just, didn't miss that one at the bottom. But even then there, it was left, it was grabbed, but it's a more gradual motion than the Identity, which I have a lot of gradual motions in the bag. There we go, that's the telltale sign there. I'm gonna go Identity. I can't be stuck with a ball that's not quick, I guess. Especially because I have that ultimate wrecker as well with some surface on it. Seems very versatile. I'll throw it a couple times, but I feel like that shot needed to hook. That one, the asymmetry kind of showed up there. It just went forward in that same spot where, like that last shot with the Identity I threw, I kind of, like, instead of the hand rolling nicely around, I kind of just like, kind of chuck pucked it out there, and it bounced off it, which is nice. So that went a lot better than I thought. So I'm just gonna throw the ultimate wrecker for you just so you can see it. I like it a lot. Has a little groove-in surface there. It's been hit with 2000 a few times. So the surface, like I said, has been worked in, and it's kind of how I like it. It's not too clean, not too whippy. And I threw one shot with it before I started filming. Looked nice. So we're just gonna move a little bit further left, see if it rips off it or it's too clean. Like, why wouldn't I take that? Why wouldn't I? That was a couple further left. I actually kind of got around it, and because it's got that little bit of surface on it. 4-inch pin. Well, flare's kind of a lot. I'll show you. Good flare there. Nice big flares from a HP2 ball. It's got that combination of higher-ish RG 254. That was gross. If the lanes decide they want a hook, this is the one. But I'll throw a couple more for you. Also, to redeem myself from the Ultimate Wrecker Target Score Challenge video, I was buns in that video, so I'm gonna make this ball look a little bit better for you. It's so good. It's all so good. No better way to cap off this video than with a 9-pin there. Cover stock wise, and flares just a touch more, reads the body lane a little bit better than Typhoon. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, bridges the gap quite a bit better to Rockstar, Sublime Focus, Identity, which I'm kind of in my mind separating the symmetrics and asyms because they do different things. So seeing Rockstar, shinier Sublime Focus, Ultimate Wrecker, I really like that progression there with the core numbers, the surface preps, the cover stocks. I'm very happy with that. And then on the other side, Ion Max, Identity, gives me my really smooth option, and then gives me my stand left and bang it option. And then we got the IQ70AU. So I'm very happy with that. If you guys enjoyed this series, let me know down in the comments below, and I can do it again next year, I don't know, or for some other tournament I'm gonna bowl, which, other than the Summer Series, I don't know when that's gonna be. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this arsenal, and also what you guys are taking to Open Championships and when you guys are bowling. We will be bowling on May 30 and 31st, I think. Whatever that Friday, Saturday is. So if you're in the area, if you're in the Baton Rouge area, just come on by the Raising Cane Center and come take a look at your boys. Me, Darren, Chris, and a bunch of our other friends are gonna be there. So if you wanna see any of us in person, that's where we'll be. But if you guys like this jersey, you guys already know, efx.co, link is down in the description below. Use code MITA for 10% off at checkout. Helps you, helps me. But that is it, guys. The USBC Open Championships Arsenal Building Series for 2025 is complete. IQ78U, Ion Max, Rockstar, Identity, Sublime Focus, and Ultimate Wrecker. I'll see you next time.